Hello everyone, my name is Emmanuel, and today I'll be demonstrating objects and object-oriented programming with Java. So we have a boat class here, and a class can have its own fields or instance variables. So this boat has an owner, a make, a color, etc. And so when we create an instance of a boat, it's going to have these instance variables associated with a boat. So in order to create an instance of a boat, we would use a constructor. So we have an empty constructor here, or a constructor that requires no arguments. And here's an example of one. So when we create this boat and print out some of those instance variables, you can see these variables are, some of them are null because we haven't assigned any values, sorry. And speed, price, and serial number are initialized because they were initialized up here. So this is how it works when we use the empty constructor. But if we wanted to use an empty constructor that takes arguments, we have another constructor here which takes a make and color as the arguments, and then what it does is it takes the values that we pass through and assigns it to the instance variables that we want, which is the make and color. So I'm going to run that real quick. And so we're passing Aquilina and the color green as the arguments. So you can see here the make and color is Aquilina green. And so that is how a constructor with arguments works. And then we'll skip over this last constructor down here. This is passing a boat object as the argument, but this is how we make a deep copy, but we'll get to that in a second. So down here we have these getters or accessors. So if we wanted to get the make or color of the boat, these instance variables, we would need to use these getter methods because these instance variables are private. So in order for us to access them outside of the class, we need to invoke or call these methods. If we wanted to set the price and change one of those instance variables, we would use a setter or mutator. And so an example of how setters and getters work, I'm going to create a boat. We're going to use that boat, and then we're going to invoke the set price method and pass the argument 10,000 for the price. And then we're going to display that by using that boat object and then invoking the getPrice method. So we're going to do the same with the color down here. And there you have it. We have the price at 10,000 and the color green. So we're setting the price of the boat at 10,000 and we're displaying that by calling the getPrice getter method. Another topic here, object aggregation. So one of our instance variables is an owner, which is actually a person, which is another class. And a person has a name, phone number, and a zip code. So to demonstrate how object aggregation works, we're going to create a boat here and a person. So I'm going to use myself as the person. I'm going to pass my name, phone number, and zip code as the arguments for the constructor. And then we're going to use that boat object that we created and then set the owner to the person, which is myself that I just created. And then we're going to display the owner of the boat by calling or invoking the getOwner method, and then also the getName method, which I created just to get the name of the owner. So as you can see here, owner is me, Emmanuel, and that is a little bit of how object aggregation works. So we can utilize different classes or objects with each other. So lastly, that constructor that we skipped over, which is takes a boat as the argument. We have an example here. So what it's doing is where it's taking that boat that's passing through, it's going to take that boat object, invoke or call the getter methods to get those field values, and then we're going to copy those values to the new boat that we're creating. So we have a boat here that we created. We're going to set the price of that boat to 100, and then we're going to go ahead and create a new boat and then pass the first boat as the argument, and so we're making a deep copy. And then let's go ahead and display the prices of both of those boats. So boat 1, 100, boat 2, 100, and then if we change the boat price to 50, we can display those prices. You can see the first boat price is 50 and the second boat price is still 100 because we changed the first boat and they're two different objects. So we made a deep copy, but we have two different objects that we're working here with. If we had a shallow copy, the difference is instead of creating a new object, we're just creating the second boat, the reference variable, and referring to that first boat object. And so if we run this code, you can see here that when we change the price to 50, it actually changes the price for both of them. But in actuality, it's just one boat. The boat 2 variable here is just referring to that first boat. So that's the difference between a deep copy and a shallow copy. And that's a little demonstration today with objects. I hope you enjoyed and hope you have a good rest of the day. Thanks. Bye.